On February 8th, 2026, millions of Americans are expected to tune in to Super Bowl 60. While the game itself draws massive audiences, the halftime show often garners even higher ratings. Past performances have exceeded 100 million viewers. This year's headliner is Puerto Rican artist Bad Bunny. But wait, who the heck is Bad Bunny? NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell said this about the decision.
I believe diversity is good for us. I think we have become a more diverse league across every platform, including coaching. Listen, Bad Bunny and I think that was demonstrated last night, one of the great artists in the world. And that's one of the reasons we chose him. But the other reason is he understood the platform he was on, and that this platform is used to unite people and to be able to bring people together with their creativity, with their talents, and to be able to use this moment to do that. And I think artists in the past have done that. I think Bad Bunny understands that, and I think he'll have a great performance.
Yet critics, including former President Donald Trump, have called it a terrible choice. New England Patriots wide receiver Stephon Diggs told The Athletic, "I don't even know who Bad Bunny is. I always think it should be an American. I think they're trying too hard with this international stuff." Another anonymous wide receiver said, "I do not like it. I'd prefer anyone who's synonymous with football and football culture. I feel like there's tons of artists out there who are fans of the game." Seahawks linebacker DeMarcus Lawrence supported the decision, saying,
"Yeah, I think it's unique. I think, like we have so many different cultures and, ethnic backgrounds in America that, I think it's time to, start embracing all of them, bringing them in fold and, that's what really makes America great."
Bad Bunny, whose real name is Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio, is a 31-year-old reggaeton singer dubbed the King of Latin Trap. So how did we get from here to here? And what does this selection reveal about the evolution of America's most watched entertainment event? Initially, some sources like AP and the Washington Post tell us that the Super Bowl halftime show started as a filler and an entertainment tool for those fans who were stuck in lines or at the bathrooms. Others, like Sportsnet, tell us the halftime show was a gimmick for people to advertise their dog products. As the NFL grew, so did the show. It was in 1993, with the help of Michael Jackson's performance, that the halftime show proved it had outgrown its original purpose of a filler, when it reached 133.4 million people. However, to understand where we are, we need to look at where we've been. How has the Super Bowl halftime show evolved over the decades? Let's start with the first era, from 1967 to the late 1980s, focused on marching bands and patriotic themes. The first halftime show had the University of Arizona Symphonic Marching Band. During the 70s, universities' marching bands performed during the breaks of the games. Ella Fitzgerald also performed in the 1972 Super Bowl in Louisiana. These were family-friendly, flag-waving spectacles designed to unite viewers during commercial breaks. The second era began in the 1990s, when the NFL introduced superstars to boost viewership. In 1991, the boy band of the moment, New Kids on the Block, was the headliner. In 1992, Gloria Estefan took over the halftime show with Stevie Wonder. Yet, Michael Jackson's 1993 performance of Heal the World set a new standard with his 133 million viewers. This period featured rock and pop icons like Tom Petty in 2008, creating what many remember as the show's golden age. The third era, from the 2010s onward, has seen a shift toward hip-hop. Beyoncé headlined in 2013. The 2022 show featured Dr. Dre leading a hip-hop ensemble. Bad Bunny's 2026 slot aligns with this trend, facilitated by the NFL's partnership with rapper Jay-Z's entertainment company, Roc Nation, since 2019. Who, despite holding also a record label, seems not to nominate its own artists. If this evolution tells us anything, it's that the halftime show has become a reflection of the state of America, or at least the America the NFL believes should become. Still, the halftime show's evolution hasn't been smooth. What scandals have marked its history? The most notorious occurred in 2004 during Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake's performance. When Jackson's breast was briefly exposed in what Timberlake later described as a wardrobe malfunction at the Grammys, the incident led to CBS fines and a shift toward what the league called family-friendly acts for years afterward. Jackson later stated the exposure was accidental. Other incidents followed. In 2012, MIA flipped the middle finger during Madonna's set, prompting an NFL lawsuit that was eventually settled out of court. Debates erupted over Beyoncé's 2013 performance, which some commentators viewed as anti-police. If these events indicate anything, they highlight ongoing tensions about content, messaging, and appropriateness in what remains one of America's most watched national broadcasts. The halftime show evolved from music to a battleground for competing visions of American culture. Enjoying this deep dive? Subscribe and enable notifications so you don't miss our timely cultural analyses. The story gets even more interesting from here. From university bands to U2 to Tony Bennett to Kendrick Lamar, and now an artist called Bad Bunny. You may ask yourself, who even is this guy? And what aspects of his background and career have drawn particular attention? Born Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio on March 10, 1994, in Bayamón, Puerto Rico, he grew up in Vega Baja and began his music career uploading songs online while working as a grocery bagger. His political engagement includes tracks like El Apagón, as well as Lo que pasó en Hawaii, and his participation in protests against former Governor Ricardo Rosselló. Regarding ICE, Bad Bunny has expressed concerns about raids targeting Latino communities. During his Grammy Award acceptance speech, he said this:
"Before I say thanks to God, I'm gonna say eyes out. We're not savage, we're not animals, we're not aliens, we are humans and we are Americans."
He has appeared cross-dressing, including a red leather mini dress in his Yo Perreo Sola video. Perhaps most significantly, questions have been raised about links between Bad Bunny's label, Rimas Entertainment, and Venezuela's Chavista regime. The label was co-founded by Rafael Ricardo Jimenez Dan, who served as vice minister under Hugo Chavez and invested $2 million in the company, according to investigations made by Armando Info. Jimenez denied ties to the Venezuelan regime, and Bad Bunny himself has not directly addressed these ties publicly. Politically, Bad Bunny endorsed Kamala Harris in 2024, criticizing Trump's response to Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico. Martinez Ocasio has also come out in support of the Black Lives Matter movement. Another question that might be floating around in your head is, who even decides who the halftime show headliner is? According to NFL Communications, the league itself oversees production, partnering with Jay-Z's company Roc Nation since 2019 as live music entertainment strategists. Seth Dudowski, the NFL's head of music, told AP, "We really wanted to start to focus on leading to culture, whether that's the culture of the city, what's happening in culture at large. Jay-Z advises on performer choices, with the stated goal of achieving global appeal. So, we're talking about a process that's based on influencing the culture. However, a question remains. What is it that the NFL heads and Jay-Z want to influence Americans with? What do they want to include in American culture? What for? Furthermore, should they push Americans to support this?" Amid debates over the main halftime show, an alternative has emerged. Turning Point USA announced a rival event called the All-American Halftime Show, featuring Kid Rock, Brantley Gilbert, Lee Brice, and Gabby Barrett. TPUSA's performance will be streamed on Turning Point USA's social media channels. TPUSA states that this alternative has no agenda other than to celebrate faith, family, and freedom. Vice President J.D. Vance praised the lineup on X. Turning Point USA states that they set out to provide an entertainment option that will be fun, excellent, and exciting for the entire family, while millions are gathered together for the big game. The halftime show of the Super Bowl mixed traditions with high-quality entertainment. It offered a show that all generations, from elder to children, could watch and enjoy. A 5-year-old from California and a 70-year-old grandfather from Maine would get an appropriate and fun show. Even when bands were replaced for superstars, you still had fun and quality. Ella Fitzgerald, Paul McCartney, Michael Jackson, Tony Bennett, the Blues Brothers, and James Brown. The NFL is a private company, free to choose whoever it wants for the halftime show. But people are equally free to respond. And that response carries weight, because attention is power. When audiences start shifting toward alternatives, sponsors take notice. When sponsors take notice, incentives shift. And when incentives shift, the the NFL reassesses its choices.
So the NFL might be at a crossroads with Bad Bunny's upcoming halftime show. If the ratings show no loss, they might as well go with the Bad Bunnies and Kendrick Lamars of the world. If people reject this year's halftime show, they might have to reconsider their decisions. Maybe it's time to go back. Maybe it's not. The audience and ratings will tell. And like so, you have the opportunity to tell us what you think. Let us know in the comments, which halftime show was your favorite? Also, give us a like and subscribe if you like this video. This is fundamental for our work. Every week, we're releasing analyses on the subjects that matter the most. We're Big Picture Originals, an independent media company creating documentaries and content that inspires without government funding or corporate influence. Our most vital mission is to enrich society through the pursuit and effective expression of truth. Join Big Picture Originals today and support independent filmmaking while unlocking full access to our documentaries, films, and original series. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to start watching today.